Here we are at stop 27. This is Blueberry Hill in Jonesboro, and just around the corner is the university's blueberry research station called Blueberry Hill. We're standing on a feature that's composed of sand and gravel, and it's defined as an ice contact submarine fan of sand and gravel. Not a delta, but a fan. And what's happened here, the ice margin retreated from the south to the north here. South is over here, north is over here, and the margin went back. And for some reason, the meltwater coming off or out of the bottom of the ice was concentrated, and it carried sand and gravel from the base of the glacier out into the ocean, because this retreat, as you realize, was with the ocean against the ice. The ocean was about 250 feet higher than it is today, and this sand and gravel came out into that ocean, onto the ocean floor, but there wasn't enough volume at that time to build it up to the sea surface. If it had built up to the sea surface, it would have been a flat-topped surface just above sea level, and we would have called it a delta, an ice contact delta, because it's against the ice margin. And here, the water never discharged enough sand and gravel before it receded. Therefore, we have a big feature that's like a delta, except it never got to the surface, so it's a submarine fan. And if you look over to my left, you'll see another bump and another one over there. These are all the same things, and they're sort of in a row, because the focus of the meltwater coming off the ice remained constant while the ice was going back. So it focused the drainage off the ice, or out from under the ice, right along the path of recession. So it built a bump here and moved back and built another bump, another submarine fan, another submarine fan. Well, it went north of the horizon. The margin receded north of the horizon and then re-advanced, and that's the line that was achieved in the year roughly 15,300 years ago, calendar years. And the tube that channeled the meltwater, or the valley on the ice that channeled, remained still constant in the same place. And at that point, there was a good deal more melting going on because the climate had changed, as you can find out by reading the map literature. And enough water and sediment were discharged to build up the deposit above sea level. And right on the horizon is the surface of the Columbia River Delta, which we were on some time ago. It got above water, and you can see it as the flat surface to the north of us on the skyline with no trees on it. That's the surface of the delta. And from that point on, the glacier simply melted away without producing many features. But when the delta was built, sea level was 250 feet higher. It was the same thing here. The surface of this feature doesn't come up to 250 feet above sea level. The delta is right at the 250 foot level. So this remained a submarine feature, but was built in direct contact with the receding ice margin.